All right, we here.
Sir, yes,
All
sir,
right.
man. We got a lot of things to touch on. We just getting
Indeed.
started our first podcast,
Number one.
and guys, we done a little bit of research. We done a little bit of finding out what it is we need, but we're starting bare minimum.
That's it.
Starting bare minimum. Me and Hector. So, if you guys want to tune into a podcast and want to grow with them, because to us this is gonna be a business, right, Hector?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
to us, we're growing as we're going as we're growing and growing as we're going, kind of thing. So
That's it.
we're taking action. So if you guys want to grow alongside us, watch us grow, or if you guys have your own business ideas and want to grow on it too, just tune in, see how me and him exchange ideas off of each other, become a better decision maker, the decision maker for yourself, hopefully. You know what I mean? And hey, you know what? If you guys call in, maybe we could gain some perspective from each other.
That's right. I think let these people know. The idea is that we're accountability partners. You and I, kind of making sure that we stay doing what we need to be doing to kind of better our lives. And so I'm going to hold you responsible to that by staying relevant in your day to day, and you for me as well. But in that journey, I mean, we're going to be talking about a lot of like self-love, how we get there, how we got from a low point to a high point, how we achieve success, what does success look like, because it looks like it's something different for all of us. And so I think a lot of the conversation here is just going to be some organic conversation, and the truths and the gems that come from it, man, they are what they are. If people pick them up, good. That's for you. Hold on to it. Love it. Polish it. Keep it. Make some jewelry out of it, put it on a little stone or something, Keep it with you. Put it in your pocket, man. And that's kind of what it is for me, Frank. I feel like, while, yeah, this is an idea to kind of better the business and grow a little bit personally, but I feel like this is also a venture much more than that. This don't feel like work. We've been doing this. We've been practicing a month now, a little bit more.
Good month, yep.
Yeah. So the idea of what it started with and how it kind of just kept turning and just being something a little more different. That process of that evolution, I feel like that just came through genuine conversation, which is, I really feel like, what we're going to be giving these people.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We gonna, again, want to learn and grow with you guys, man. And just so you know, everything Hector said, that's what it's about. We're accountability partners, and we're looking to be you guys accountability partners too, as much as you let us. I'm also big on like personal growth and self growth. So you'll get a lot of that out of me. You know what I mean? Excitedly too, because I love talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you guys, let's just go through it, because I want to talk to you guys about where we at, like how we got here, and so we've been thinking on this podcast for over a month now. Me and Hector linked up together. Me and Hector been best friends since second grade, man. We got second grade, man. We got a little older. He went his own way. I stayed where he left me. Still here, Connecticut. Yeah. And but still, no, we still never lost that connection. Me and Hector could not talk for a whole year, but when we get on the phone, it's gonna be good conversation. That's always just the way it is, man.
Always picked up right where we left off.
Yes, those are some of my favorite people. The people where it's just like, time, it don't matter what time passed. Like, it's just, you know what I mean? You guys connect, and it's like you never lost any time.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things we still looking to grow on with this podcast as individuals. I'm my other business, aside from doing this podcast now with Hector, I'm making this my business, doing this podcast, is I'm a handyman. I'm a handyman by trade. That's what I enjoy doing. And Hector over there, Hector, you could tell him a little bit about what you're doing, the other projects you're getting into.
Just kind of working on some writing. I've got a lot of ideas for storytelling, and I do kind of want to share that with the world. I kind of want to give these I believe they're incredible, because they are just pure. They're just fun, a little bit something for everybody. I cover a lot of genres, some short stories, something a little more in depth. But overall, I want to deliver that to the world. I like sharing my mind. I like being able
Oh,
to give that.
he's gonna start delivering that to the world a little sooner than he imagines. Okay, he
Yeah,
got the
yeah.
right accountability partner
That's
now.
right. That's right.
All right.
Yeah, I love and respect that. I need that. I need that. Um, that's something that's I'm looking forward to from all of this for sure. Is kind of just having that fire lit under my ass, and hey, get that going.
Let's get it going, man.
That's it.
Let's get it going, man. And
So shit, Frank, you was telling him that you're a handyman. You didn't even thought of a business name, man. You didn't even say nothing.
oh yeah. I'm sorry, guys, man. I'm Frank Tooley, handyman. Your to-do list toolless, man. And
Yes.
I'm working on specializing. Well, I'm not working. I specialize in helping you with your home setup, getting you to that finished product a lot sooner. Is what I specialize in. Um, I don't want to be too much on my handyman business. You guys to get to know me and it as we continue about this podcast though. Me and Hector, we've been brainstorming ideas. We came up with Peace of Your Mind. You know what I mean? We came up with some other good ones, but Peace of Your Mind is what ultimately decided on. And that's because, hey, we want a piece of your mind. We want you guys, we want to give you a little bit of our mind and just another perspective, because that's what this podcast is going to be about. Perspectives.
Perspective.
You know what I mean? We can all grow. With the more perspective we have on anything and everything, the more our minds expand. The possibilities are endless. So I love getting different perspective, be it from the devil's advocate or being it from a good place. As long as it's all love, you mean better for me. And no, when I talk, even if it has to come out rough, trust me, I like to talk soft. I like to go easy. But even if it don't come out easy, I mean well. You know what I mean? I want us all to grow. So it's not always easy conversation. Sometimes you gotta just go ahead and get dragged through the mud a little bit. Let your emotions get dragged through the mud, and that's just for growth, betterment. That's the goal. One of the other things we worked on is we have a opening, so you guys could tell us what you think, if it can be improved on. But I'm gonna just go ahead and kick it to you guys. This is how the show was supposed to start. All right.
Let's get it.
All right. Let's see. In order to take accountability for what has passed and what will be, there's no time like presently. For all those with ears and mouths, can I have a moment of your time? Can we have a moment of your time? For all those with ears and mouths, can we have a moment of your time? We want to gain some perspective. Can you give us a piece of your mind?
Your mind.
That's
right. That's right.
All right.
And you know what, world? We'll work on the delivery. But that's essentially the whole idea, is we want a piece of your mind, because like Frankie was saying, we like the idea of being able to grow our minds. We like not being too stagnant, not too comfortable, not too complacent. We want to evolve. We want to continue to grow. We want to change, but in healthy ways. And so being on this podcast with my brother here, I can do that. I can have someone in my corner that I know is going to tell me what I need to hear, whether I want to hear it or not. He's not just going to kiss ass and tell me, oh yeah, that's cool, or nah. No, if I'm messing up, I'm going to be told I'm messing up, and I need to be told that. I've come to a place in my life where I'm willing and I'm able to accept, I want to accept that, because I want to grow. I want to be held accountable for all of my transgressions, past, present, and whatever's going forward. So getting a piece of your mind, is the idea of being able to get perspective, like Frank said, from Frankie. And Frankie can get it from me. And if we're lucky enough, we'll get it from all of you out there. And that's the whole premise of what we're doing, is we want to grow, and let's grow together. Why not? Because I'm going to go ahead and bring up Thankful Thursday. In our group chats, our weekly group chats,
our little mastermind.
Yeah. The thing that sparked this, we talk about a lot of topics, and you can throw an idea off a wall, man. Some of them stick, some of them will bounce back, but the ones that get to be put in someone else's hand, molded a little differently, and then re-delivered, man, that's it right there. That's how we grow.
Yeah, man.
Take perspective.
Perspective, man. Imagine this one person's perspective from somebody else. You have your own thoughts. We are all thinkers. I don't care what nobody say. We are all thinkers. You know what I mean? a lot of us like to stop ourselves from thinking with distractions, but we are all thinkers. If we could get the distraction out the way, we are all thinkers. So imagine an idea that you had, right? Just one idea, but because you are who you are, for whatever reason, you only can think about that idea in one way. You only can think about that idea in one way. It's hard for you to think outside the box. I go and bounce that idea off of Hector now, right? And he comes up with another perspective on it. You would think, okay, now you got two ideas off of it. No. You take those two ideas, you mix them together, you got three ideas. You get what I'm saying? If you could come up with a third idea, you might be able to spin a fourth one off of it. And that's how perspective, that's how we can grow collectively on anything, any topic, anything. It could be personal. It could be something personal. It don't even have to be about business. You know what I mean? If you trying to figure out something personally, let's bring up the topic, man. Let's bring it up. We're going to take the topic. We're going to put it in the middle of the floor, and you and I, we're going to kick that shit around, okay? We're going to beat it up. We're going to beat the topic up till it come up with some, hey. Bro. My friend got questions. We want answers, all right?
That's it. We want answers, man. We do. Yes, Frank. We want answers. And that's the best part about it is these answers, like you were just saying, man, they could be personal. They could be business related. They could be philosophical, hell, whatever. Whatever comes up, we're going to talk about it. Yeah. And that's the best part about it is having that willingness from someone else that's willing to chop it up. And we're going to make a whole meal out of it. You know what I mean? We're going to be full off of this, y'all.
That's right.
That's why we call it mindfulness.
Heck, we got a lot of things to cover, man. So if I want this, I actually would like this to become a pretty interactive podcast. So I mean, if we start building a community, when we start building a little community, like, let's engage them, right? Let's engage them. Like, guys, we haven't even came up with a logo for this podcast just as yet. But luckily for this podcast, my friend Hector there, he does logos, right? So, sure do. I was thinking maybe to make it a little interactive, right? Hector comes up with a few outlines for a couple of them, right? And then instead of just sharing it with me, we share it with all of you guys. Maybe we could do a poll on it, take some votes.
Ooh.
Hey, you know what I mean? Top two. Out of the top two, which one you guys like better, right? And based off the percentages, maybe we go with that one, right? Hey, it don't even have to be a big community from Jump Street, man. If it's just 5 of us and that's all we got to work with, then hey, that's what we working with.
That's okay.
Till we grow beyond.
Yep. So I feel like you just kind of gave me work already, Frank. You gave me an obligation. I got to get it going now.
You got to get it going, man.
Episode 1, so I got to get the logo in now, and I've already got ideas. As soon as you said it, like ideas just came to mind, and that's the best part about it. Because we live our day to day. Like Frankie was saying, we have these distractions. I come home from work. I want to decompress. I want to just spend time with my son, with my lady and her daughter. I want to go ahead and just do nothing, man. I want to just be a couch potato. I want to watch a movie and eat popcorn with the fam.
Yeah, maybe I want to throw on a video game. Too.
Right. Like, and that's totally okay. But like being given the opportunity to do something because that person knows you're capable, that's a gift, bro. That's someone saying, I trust your input. I trust your creative process. I trust your ability. Go do it. Like, bet. I want to do it now. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what I feel like this whole podcast is going to kind of base itself around is not this stressful, I got to go do that. Nah, man, I want to do that. I want to be able to grow. I want to learn. I want to achieve. And we're going to... like Frankie said, man, I'm all about tough love. I'll drag your ass through the mud, man. I don't care. But I'll help you stand back up. I'll dust you off. I'll get you right. And that's what we're going to do. We're gonna do that. It's that tough love because we love you. And we love ourselves, man. I love me, Frank. I'm finally in a place where I can say that, bro.
Hey, you know what? And for those who are having a problem trying to find that love in themselves, man, hit us up, man. We're going to figure it out.
Yes.
We're gonna figure out whatever the problem is. We're gonna put them in the middle of the fucking group and we're gonna kick that shit around, okay?
That's it. That's it.
Man, Hector, man, bro, we got a lot to do, man. We got a lot to do, so we gotta use each other to our strengths. You know what I mean?
I agree. I agree. And
I respect
that.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, when I say a lot to do, and I want to make you guys a part of everything. Me and Hector talked about intro music. Did you guys hear any intro music today? You know what I'm saying? So over time, you guys are gonna see this. You guys are gonna see this grow. You're gonna see us go from having no logo to having a logo, no intro music to having intro music. Like it's gonna be little things. There's little things you gotta do, little things you gotta decide on. We can't do it all in one. We couldn't do it all in 1 month. You know what I mean? So
Matter of fact, Frank, we even talked about that. I mean, how many sessions did we dedicate to the creative process? You know, how do we start off? How do we end it? You know, do we open up with an intro? Do we have like we talked about all these things until we came to the idea like, nah, let's just record. Let's just do it.
let's just do it. Let's just do it. Yeah.
Cause what's that saying, bro? There ain't no time like the right now, right?
There ain't no time like the present, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no time like the present. And you know what? We could spend a lot of on that note. We could spend a lot of time thinking. We could spend the time. We could spend a lot of time planning, and planning is very important. But planning also is nothing without action. You know what I mean? So instead of leaving some things to brain fog because we don't study too much, I like to take a little action and see how it feels. I gotta get into the mix myself. You know what I mean? Because that's the best way to learn sometimes. Just throw yourself out there. You know what I mean? You throw yourself in the deep end. You sink and swim at that point. You either gotta learn how to swim or you going down. Don't nobody go jumping into no pools though, okay?
No. And that's the thing too, though. The idea that because you know that's an old one, but it's still good because we don't want to sink. We're gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? So that inherent ability to fight, to stay alive, to take more. That's gonna kick in. That instinct, you know, that's what we call that.
Yeah.
And when that instinct kicks in, man, there ain't no feeling quite like, you know what I'm saying? You discover what you're made of. You discover what you're capable of. And so we're hoping maybe we could kind of achieve some of that without you having to be worried about sinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Learn how to turn that on whenever the hell you want it, whenever the hell you need it.
Yeah, and it's just little steps, man. One thing at a time, man. I'm not the same person I was yesterday, and I'm definitely not the same person I was 3 years ago. But even the little minute changes that I've made, you know what I mean, or big changes I've made, it took time. We are creatures of habit. You know what I mean? We are creatures of habit. So if you guys are looking for that change in your life, trying to find that passion, that thing you want to go for. Like, give us a call. Let's chat, man. Because, man, I went through, I don't know how many jobs I've had in my lifetime. I went through a numerous amount of jobs before I found out, like, you know what? I just like doing this handyman stuff. And this is what I need to make my business. This sink and swim for me with the handyman stuff. You know what I mean? It's either I'm going to make it or I'm going to die trying. 50 Cent.
Like 50, bro. Yes.
Some other things we're trying to grow on with the podcast, just so people know, is intro music. That's going to be one. Constant topics is something we've been discussing. I know we want to get in. We want to make it kind of personal when we talk to people, right? So, one of the ideas I've had, we want to motivate personal growth. So, I'm going to share something one day about me and who I was as a kid that I admired about my kid self. I want to tell you guys about my kid self that I admired. I want to tell you guys about a journey where I felt like I lost that part. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you guys about the journey about finding the thing I liked about that kid. Sometimes finding what you guys want to get into or the direction that you guys need to be going in is taking that trip back. Because when we were kids, we were our most natural self. This is where we wore our hearts. You know what I mean? Until somebody taught us other, for whatever reason. I'm not saying it was a good thing or a bad thing, but they taught us, they taught us something other that made us take away that heart and internalize it a little more. But I'm telling you, now's the time. We are old enough, especially my generation, man. I'm definitely talking to my generation when I say this. I'm talking to everybody, but my generation especially, you guys understand we are like J. Cole said, we are the middle children. And what I mean by that is like, we understand the old ways, the older generation. We have an understanding of them, and we have an understanding of the younger generation. Now, ask the younger generation and the older generation how much they understand each other. You would have thought they was born in different worlds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
We
feel like
so
that.
we have an obligation. We gotta take accountability for just knowing that we gotta take accountability. You know what I mean? To connect more, to get the younger generation to understand some of the old ways, to get the old ways to understand some of the new ways. Because hey, ain't nothing. It's only life is only moving in one direction, man. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
It's junk for the
And
young, man.
no, that's it. And that's the thing too, Frank. Like is, we like you were saying, that inner child, man, mine is still alive and well. I love him. That boy's still here. And I let him come out every now and then, man. A lot more than I used to, Like you were saying earlier, I'm not the same person I was yesterday or 3 years ago. And I spent a portion of my life muting that boy. Not no more. Not no more, man. I let him, stand at the forefront when I make decisions so he can learn, so he can grow too, because he's
Yeah.
ever growing. You know what I'm saying? But I always love the passions that he had, his ability to kind of be willing to get
Hey,
into something.
hey, guys, I know the young man you talking about, man. I've been with him since
Yeah,
second grade. Okay.
second grade, bro. Second grade. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. And that boy felt most comfortable right here with this man right in front of me. You know what I'm saying? I felt the truest version of me sleeping over at Frank's house, and like I get to rekindle that within me again. That makes me feel good. And again, that's why I love myself, because I did love that boy. And then I muted me for a while just so I could pay bills and navigate this world of adulthood, being told I need to be this from one generation, and oh, but you got to do it this way from another. And it's just like, man, I want to do it my way.
Yeah,
What's wrong
man.
with my way, right?
Yes, sir.
And my way is mindfulness. My way is inclusive of all. My way is my way. I don't beat to anybody's drum, man. I like doing it my way, but I will make sure I don't step on toes when I do it. I don't offend. And if I do offend, hell, tell me. Make me accountable for it. Teach me. Show me what's up. I'm always about perspective again, going kind of bringing that full circle. I like knowing where I'm messing up or where I'm succeeding. And success for all of us is going to be a little different, like I said, but that's okay. That's something that we all have to be kind of amicable to, that idea exists. Something different for everybody, different strokes, different motions, whatever.
It's different strokes for different folks.
Right. And that's okay. Like, show me what's up. Show me what yours are. Let me see. Let me see if they apply to being mine in my daily life. Let me learn from that. Let me
Yeah.
grow with that.
Yeah, you know what, people, you could just a random thought. You could stand to grow from really going and venturing into other cultures. Like this American
Mm.
culture, this culture you used to right here. I promise you, this culture. Okay, one thing with this culture is we're all about the technology. We all got these. I got three of them. You know what I'm saying? It you wake up to it, you go to sleep to it. But I promise you, you go to I don't know. Out here in Connecticut, people are a bit. They could be a bit antisocial, just a little bit, or they're not usually typically the first ones to talk to you. But you go visit down south for a little while. The southern culture is a little different. When they walk by, they gonna make sure they say hi. They might even strike a conversation with you. I go visit my family in the islands. It's a whole different mood. Okay, go stay in a hotel for what? Go stay in this room right here. You know what I mean? It's a whole different mood, and it's not this all day. You know what I mean? They want to go get their food. They gotta go climb a tree for it or something. You know what I mean? Or it's just not experiencing these differences like help you to like sometimes just slow you down and help you to appreciate
Mm.
life a little bit. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but getting back out of that rabbit hole now. Yeah, I definitely want to talk to the inner child of some of us or all of us. You know what I mean? Because revisiting him, her is important. Like you know what I mean? It's because like Hector was saying, there were some awesome things about us, and I want you guys to recognize what was awesome about you, especially the ones that have seemed to like really gotten lost somewhere. Like, yo, what was dope about you before you got upset, before you got depressed, before you started feeling anxious? What was dope about you? What was your favorite thing about you? So anybody who's tuning in, like if you guys want to call in, y'all want to chat or whatever, I expect to be asked some powerful questions because I want you guys to recognize the strength and the beauty in you guys. And before we say goodbyes, you make sure you take a little time to appreciate that little person in you. Okay, you know what I mean? We gonna figure it all out. We gonna bring it all in, package it all in together, and we gonna become stronger. We gonna become better together.
Yeah.
You know.
I like that. I like that being stronger too, because man, strength. That's a subjective word, man. We could talk about physical, mental, emotional. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about strength in the workplace, strength in in passion and the thing that drives you and your motive. That strength in what your hobbies might be. Just kind of your personal, your downtime. But we want to address all of it, all of it.
All of it, man.
Like
all
that.
of it.
That's the best part about it is it's all applicable to what we're trying to achieve here, what we want to do on this journey to growth. And sometimes they call that shit growing pains, man. So like, if it hurt a little bit, I mean, hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's something I had to learn, man. That some of that pain is what woke me up to make me aware. Some of the things I'm doing is not okay. Some of the things I'm doing are the right thing, but it's hard to get it. So put in that little extra effort and go get it.
Yeah.
So I'm not against putting in that work. And I know Frankie's not against putting in that work.
Nah.
And everybody I put in my circle is not afraid to put in that work. And we try to make that circle a little bit bigger by including all of you guys out there. So if, like Frank said, you want a piece of our mind, well, hey, we're here because we want a piece of your mind. So step up. Come to us. Yep. And
hey,
let's go.
I want to see how funny this is going to be now, Hector, right? I want to see how many people are actually going to want to tune in and give us a piece of their mind now that we're asking for it. Because you know what? A lot of us like to waste our time going out there and giving some. We just feel like, yo, you know what? They messed up my order and I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. All right? I'm going to give them a piece of my. I'm going to let them know about themselves. That's it today. But we asking for it. So tune in. Come on. And bring it on in. Let us know.
Bring it.
What you think?
Oh, yeah.
You know what you thinking about? What's on your mind? We're asking for
That's
it. I bet you the little snooty one's gonna be like, now I don't feel like talking.
Yep. And that's okay because we run into that every day, man. You have people that in their fields, they had a bad weekend, they had a rough day trying to do some laundry. The laundry machine just went and died or something. Could be anything. Oh man, I went to go pour myself a bowl of cereal and I spilled it all over me. Now I gotta go change my outfit.
Word, and I gotta go to the store and get milk, and they just mad out there. You know what I mean?
So, and they're not mad at you. They're just mad with the situation. So, and that's something that Frankie and I have both had plenty of experience in. And I'm sure lots of you out there, same thing. You've dealt with lots of people that are mad, but not at you. They're just mad. Something happened. And so, a lot of what this is kind of being able to discover, like, yo, I'm pissed. I feel it in my heart, in my mind. I feel it in my stomach, in my gut. I'm mad. Or I acknowledge that shit. And it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be happy. Hell yeah. Like, these emotions, they exist. They are what they are. Acknowledge that they're there. And still come talk to us, man. Like, yo, we're here. We want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? We want to make it so that we're all growing, and that growth, I feel like that growth, yo, we don't have a choice. We grow. You go from that child body to that adult body, whatever. That's happening.
Back
you don't
to
get
a
to
child
choose.
body.
Right. But this mental growth, man, that's something different. That's a lot of power, though. Yep,
Powerful,
a lot
man.
of power. Yeah. So we growing, man, and we want this. We get to choose how we do it, right?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
So I'm thinking, Frank, so we're talking about accountability. We're talking about having these people chime in. Well, shit, let's give them a topic to chime in about, right?
All right.
Let's give them something to talk about.
What you got? You got something in mind?
I mean, yo, I've got this idea for ego, man. We talked about that a couple times.
Yeah. That's definitely a study of mine right now, man. Trying to learn about the ego. The ego, man. Well, when I looked up the definition of ego, there's a lot of different things that came up. But the one I was most interested in is like how the ego kind of, it's the ego that wants you to stay kind of complacent, and it's because the ego is like that because the ego concerns itself mostly with your safety, right? And to the ego, safety is stress free. And putting that all in one, stress free to most people is comfortability, the things we're most comfortable with. But it's dangerous because the ego looks to keep you in that comfort zone. So when you're used to going one way to get home, the ego doesn't want you veering off to figure out another way. It could be dangerous. It could be longer. It could be you know what I mean? You're gonna make your mind think. Your mind. That's another thing. The ego don't want you. It don't want you thinking too much. It takes too much energy to think. You know what I mean? Thinking, to your mind, thinking is stress. That's stress. You know what I mean? And itself, thinking is stress. It's something new. You know what I mean? It's out of the normal. So the ego does things to protect you, right? Over time. And one of the things I've been reflecting on was like, hey, even starting this journey, like to come up on a podcast and be able to talk to people out loud and use my voice. This is way out my comfort zone. I'm leaning way out right now. You guys see me on the screen right now? You know what I mean? This is way out my comfort zone, and it's because of insecurities that I've acquired over time. And was I always that? And I know I was talking about being a kid earlier. Was I always that insecure person? No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. I actually thought of myself as a pretty dope kid. Like, you know what I mean? I got along well with others, no matter their background, pretty well. I always was a pretty happy-go-lucky guy. That's how I like to be. You know what I mean? I can remember a time being a little angry man, but I prefer being happy. It's less stress that way. In that sense, I side with the ego. You know what I mean? I want to stay happy. I want to be at peace. Yes, I said I side with the ego. I hear a lot of these things talk about that's trying to teach you about ego, telling you to kill your ego. I don't see the point in it. Like, kill your ego. To kill your ego, in my opinion, to kill your ego is to kill part of yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But back to the story. I picked up some insecurities along my lifetime because of things I've heard. You know what I mean? About my voice, about talking, and I allowed those situations and things to kind of change who I am in a sense. You know what I mean? Again, I used to be somebody new come to the school, I'll be the first one to walk up to him and, hey, how you doing? You know what I mean? Welcome to the school. That used to be me. But I also could remember times where, I almost won most talkative, and they made it sound like a bad thing. Like, right? I almost, I was just having a conversation with a friend on the bus. And some girl told me, shut the F up. Your voice sounds annoying. You know what I mean? And I let those things like dig into me. I took it personally. For some reason. And I went from being this person who was kind of naturally extroverted to being an introvert. Now, I found some beauty in being introverted. Found a lot of beauty in it, but we'll talk about that some other time.
Yep.
But because of that, now being a businessman in this day and age is like, I have to use my voice. How are people going to know about me? How are they going to know about anything I'm trying to do or accomplish? I got to share myself. So I've taken some time to reflect and go back and revisit, like, why am I so standoffish? Why am I, why don't I talk to people like I used to? And I reflected on those times where I was told you talk too much, or I was told, your voice is annoying. And I had to just recognize, like, okay. I mean, back then, again, I was in my feelings. Like, she said something to me, it was directed at me, I took it personally. But, being a grown man who gets cut off by cars every 2 seconds, you know what I mean? Or, flip the finger. I learned to realize, like, there's angry people all over the world. They just angry for whatever reason. This is my first time seeing this dude. You know what I mean? Well, he flipping me the bird. He mad about something at home. It ain't got nothing to do with me. And it was the same thing on the bus with that girl. I have no idea what she been through in her life. You know what I mean? I don't know why she was so angry. I wasn't even talking to her. But, when I recognized that, that was a long time ago. I'm still letting that one incident affect my, who I am today. I need to let that go. And two, like, again, I don't know what that girl was going through. Maybe people go through a lot of different things in their life. Maybe back home, she got a stepfather who mistreats her somehow, and my voice sound like it. It reminds me of, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Let me jump in there real quick, Frank. So you said to let that go. I agree and I disagree because you didn't let it go. You worked through it. You know what I'm saying? You went through that. You went through the process. You see how it affected you. So you didn't just let it go. You processed it. You took the time to see how it affected you, how it hurt you, how it hurt that child, how it hurt that young man that I met. You know what I'm saying? My brother. Like you acknowledged that and you worked through it. And I wouldn't say you let it go. You grew from that. You made yourself better from that. You made yourself more aware.
Yeah.
And that's something I want to kind of point out. Is like you get into an argument with someone, or you have a bad relationship, intimate, personal, business, whatever. You don't just let it go. Process it, people. Let it see how it affected you. Let it feel it. Did it affect you up here? Did it hurt your heart? You know what I'm saying? Where did it hurt? Why? How? Work through that.
Yeah.
Like Frankie did. And it took Frankie a little bit of time to work through it, but he was able to do that. So we're not racing here. We're not on some scale to, oh, you got to do that today, tomorrow. No, just be mindful to work through it, right?
Yeah.
And you did that, Frank. So you didn't let it go, bro. Like that's why I say I agree and disagree, because like you put in some effort there.
Yeah. No, I like the way you put a spin on it. That's definitely taking what I was saying and like putting more detail into it, like breaking it down.
Yeah.
Breaking it down, the forgiveness. You know what I mean? Ultimately you want to be able to forgive that situation, that time period, and you don't want to beat your ego up from building up the way. You don't want to beat your ego up from building up the way it went about protecting you. You know what I'm saying? I felt some type of way when it happened to me, so my ego put up this wall that made me a little extroverted. Only my friends heard my voice from that point on. You know what I mean? And now that's been me for a while. If my friends didn't hear my voice, I was to myself, probably in this room, thinking and shit. You know what I mean? That's just what I do. But yeah, it definitely was more like a process, bro. It was definitely like taking a trip. It was taking a trip, man. Getting in your mental mental ride. You're taking a mental ride down memory lane. You know what I'm saying? Go visit like, yo, who the fuck who she thought she was talking to?
Right.
Who she thought she was talking to? That's my ego talking right there. Like, what?
And so for ego, like you were saying, that protective shield, I like to think of ego as more of that. This incantation of what's within. You think of ego, and then you think about what's on the opposite end of that spectrum, and that's that humbleness.
Yeah.
This is that more aware, that more willing side of you, that one that's willing to kind of dial it back and let others get in line first, or whatever, however you want to go ahead and label that. But like for me, and I've told you this, Frank, there's me, and then there's the ego, and then there's that humbleness. And I walk with all three. All three of us, we walk together.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, that protective wall, hey, sometimes that ego has to shift out to the front of us. We're not walking side by side. Now we're walking in a straight line. And I'll have the humbleness all the way in the back, because I want to keep him protected now. I don't want him to, have to be scarred in any way or affected by the reactions of others. So I put the ego out front. And the ego's the one that can stand up to that. He's the one with the thick skin. He's capable of taking a tough word and letting it bounce off. Dust the shoulder, or hey, you want to throw hands, we throw heads. That's that ego.
Yeah.
And I like having him because he's been there to protect me.
Yeah. You know what?
I like having the opposite too.
Yeah. You know what? The ego might work a little differently for everybody too. Just a tad bit differently. We all have our own. We all come up with our own solutions for defending ourselves, man. So yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly, heck, man. And that's what when a scenario comes up, that's exactly what it felt like. I'm having a conversation, like, okay, what's the best move here? Like, do I have my what Dave Chappelle used to call it, my nigga moment?
Wow, Dave, I love him.
Do I break off into this right now? Like, when they say life is full of decisions, this is what they mean. Like if you chose not to get loud with a person, That was a decision you made. You made a decision. You know what I mean? And that decision brought about some outcomes or made sure some things didn't happen. You know what I mean? If you chose to just yell and scream, that was a decision you made. You decided to do that. What we're trying to do is build on our ability to react. No, I'm sorry. Our ability to respond as opposed to react. We are only humans. We're only humans that, sometimes somebody say something and it could trigger us. You know what I mean? From some past experience. Like, somebody could say something to me today. Oh, right, your voice annoying. Like, yo, who you talking to? Yeah. You know what I mean? I could just lose it. But wait a minute. I resolved that already. Yo, you think so? I'm sorry you feel that way, man. I apologize for whatever it means, okay? In advance. You know? Let it go. But, the ego is, I think of him more like I like to think of him as an overprotective big brother or something.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I got hurt somehow. My brother ain't like it. He put up a wall. That's it. And that's what we learn to do over time. Like, we get in relationships, we get hurt, we put up some kind of wall so we don't get hurt. We either don't get scarred as deeply or, you know what I mean? Or we learn to protect our feelings in some kind of weird way that ain't really healthy for us in the long run. But, it's working for now. But
and let me ask you, Frank, that this wall that's up in front of us, how many people you say nowadays they're inside a whole fortress now?
Oh yeah,
that shit is cut. There ain't no windows.
Oh yeah, man. Can't even talk to them, man. They
can't at all.
We talking about perspective right now. They don't want nobody. They don't want my goddamn perspective. What are you talking about, Frank? This is just how it is, man. It's this way. That's it. That's it. The world is against me.
and we born and raised, man, Bridgeport, Connecticut. We grew up in the hood, y'all. We grew up in a place where that's kind of what the MO was. People had to protect themselves from all manner of things. You didn't see vulnerability. You saw coldness. You saw, this just hard attitude. That was the normal for us.
Yeah.
And like Frankie said, I done left the coop. I done got up out of there. Frankie's still there. But Frankie ain't that guy. Frankie ain't this man that we all saw when we were young. Frankie, personally, man, this is one of the greatest people I've ever had the opportunity to meet in my entire life. And like, I'm going to go ahead and throw it at him, Frank. Yo, I remember second grade, Frank, Black Rock. I'm sitting down.
You're going way back.
Way back, bro. And this kid came up. Kid walked into the classroom. He had box braids. And I'm like, yo, his hair is mad dope. Like, I want to be his friend. And that was you, Frank. That was you. And yo, that's all it took. Was this dude had cool hair. And I'm like, oh, I fuck with this guy right away. Just that was it. That's all it took. And it was I didn't know that was going to be one of the greatest moments of my life. And so, to say this, again, this gentleman world that's right here in front of me, that you all get to see, that's sharing, that's willing to be vulnerable, share some insight. The world he grew up in didn't mold him. It didn't turn him into this cold animal, this monster, this just detached individual. Now, unfortunately, he's had experiences, but he chose to be better. He chose to be the true him. And that's something that we all can have, is basically what we're saying, right, Frank?
Yeah.
We can have that if we want it. And you got that for yourself, regardless of what happened.
Yeah.
Man. You turned out to be one of the most happiest people I've ever seen, bro. And that passion is everything, bro. People need that in their life. So all of you out there that's living behind this fucking fortress, this locked up dome,
Open
man.
the door, man. Let us in. Let us in. Don't come out. Let us in your fortress.
Let us come up in there. We ain't no judgment either. We ain't gonna come around there poking and wiping dust off and shutting up. We're gonna come in there and kick it with you.
Kick it with you, man.
And that's it.
Till you ready to come out of it a little bit, man.
That's it. That's all we want.
Yeah.
All we want.
Yo, Hector, man. Thanks, bro. Yo, you just made me feel good, man. I can't even lie, man. You talked me up, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way about Hector, man. I feel the same way about Hector. I started running in little tight circles early. And it was mostly because of what Hector's talking about, the environment we grew up in. Not that it wasn't nothing like I thought I was better than, or nor was it I thought I was less than. I knew I didn't want to be bothered with. You know what I mean? And that's the way I chose to protect myself. It's like, you know what? Yo, in middle school, bro, I seen I seen two of my homeboys. They would fight like damn near every day, and they was best friends, yo. Like, but they were like scrap. They were like scrap, go at it, both get suspended, and come back to school and be cool again. Like, you know what I mean? It was stuff like that I couldn't understand. Like, it was stuff like that I couldn't understand. So I made my circle real tight, man. And you know, and honestly, anybody who was part of that circle, they're most amazing people to me. Some of them came from the hood. You know what I mean? The one that we grew up closest to. You know what I mean? They lived in it, and you know what I mean. And still was able to come up out of it. You know, lose a certain mindset, like in a sense, break what some people would call like a generational curse or something. You know what I mean? Like they would be the ones to get out of it. You know, and yo, it's. I mean, yo, I'm not gonna. You know, they say where you find diamonds at in the dirt, right? Buried. You know what I mean? And we came from some of the grittiest, man. And Hector's one of them diamonds I found out here in this gritty. You know what I mean? Definitely, bro. Definitely, man. You know, you can't, yo, you can't make these energies up out of just anybody you know. You know what I'm saying? You can't just find this positivity. I wish you could. I wish it was that easy, but unfortunately, the things worthwhile in life ain't easy to come across. You know what I mean?
Sure ain't.
And that's what they say, man. I heard something from Muhammad Ali, which Muhammad Ali used to be dropping some gems all the time. Every time that man opened his mouth, man, he was the greatest of all time for punching or talking. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he was talking. He was talking more on the topic of his woman and her flaunting her goods, right? He felt like, yo, you know, like if it's good, it don't need to be shown. Like it don't need to be that easily accessible to somebody's eyes or imagination. You know what I mean? Anything worth having is hard to find. You want a pearl, you got to go deep into the bottom of the ocean. You want to find diamonds, you got to wait for it to build up first of all, and then you got to dig deep for it. Like, you know what I mean? Nothing that's worth having it was made easy to get or achieve. And I say that applies in everything in life. Don't interrupt me, man. That applies in everything that applies with everything in life, right? Yo, I want to live comfortably, you know what I mean? I want freedom. Freedom is like the ultimate goal for me. And when I say freedom, I mean freedom from stress. In order for me to achieve freedom from stress, I need to put some things in place. You know what I mean? I need to automate some things. I need money to be coming in even when I ain't working. I need, you know, to install in my children a type of independence that I know they're going to be okay even when I'm not around. Like, I need that kind of freedom. And the only way to do that is by putting in the energy. I put in time with my boys. I'm putting in time trying to learn about business so I can grow into something that can sustain even when I'm not when I'm not away. And I won't feel free until I'm able to go away, no matter how long, be it a month or a year, and not worry about what's going on where I left. That's freedom. You know what I mean? If I could disappear for a year and know everything is gonna be straight for that whole year, and I ain't gotta worry, my kids are gonna be okay. I trained them up enough to be independent enough to handle themselves and be good, you know, genuine good people. Like, I can go with a free mind. Like, I could disappear with a free mind, and I do want to do that one day. But for now, I gotta put in the work. Yep. I gotta put in the work. And
to me, Frank, that sound like a form of success, right? And like we were saying earlier, success is going to look a little different for all of us. But that, to me, that sounds nice. I want that shit too.
That philanthropy, bro.
Yeah, like we achieve that by putting in that work, you know, and that's necessary. That's essential. And I feel like there's a lot of people within our generation, within the generation before us and the generation after, man, and those coming, where some people don't want to put that work in. Some people just want it. They want results. You know, they want the diamonds without doing anything.
You know what, Hector? That'd be honestly, life would be totally boring if it was like that. Like, I can't. Right. Yo, Hector, me and you are gamers. Me and you are lifelong gamers, Hector, man. How often do you play the game on easy mode?
Never. Never. I put that shit all the way up just cause,
Easy
man. I
mode.
want
Like,
to
I
earn
played
that
on
credit.
normal, man. I ain't playing on no easy mode. What am I playing for if I'm playing on easy mode?
Right.
You know what I mean? My favorite games, Hector. My favorite games. I used to love RPGs, man. I will grind it out. I will grind it out till my characters are super strong, man. Before I go see that boss and I go give him one smack.
Right.
Come on, you thought you was,
Yep.
bro. You
Yep.
know, if the game would if they would have put the game on easy mode, bro. From Jump Street, you was at level 100. What am I playing this game for?
Right. Right.
Right? What am I even
So
playing this game for, yo?
it's true. And I'm gonna call 50 again, bro. You did it once, I'm gonna do it twice now. Sunny days wouldn't feel special if it wasn't for
Yeah,
rain.
that's right,
Right.
man.
So you gotta have that adversity. You gotta have that thing in the way to really appreciate the thing you're going for. If you could just walk right up to it, I mean, well then shit, then so can we all. And then we all got the same shit. And we don't have stories to tell. We don't have perspectives to share. It just would be all the same shit.
Yeah,
It'd be boring.
yeah.
Can't do it.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, bro.
There'd be no joy. There'd be no joy in it at all.
Yeah, Hector, you're doing story writing, bro. Can you imagine writing a story where oh yeah, he was born and he was rich when he was born and he was born he was rich in his 20s, his 30s, and 40s and the end.
And he died rich.
And he died rich. The end.
It.
Nobody picking that book up. You know what I mean?
Nobody.
You gotta get a little more creative than that. How you gonna get creative
Yeah.
on easy mode? Can't get creative on easy mode.
Can I get creative on easy mode? I like that. That's good, Frank. That's a good application, bro. That's good.
Yeah, man.
That's good. That applies to those games. It applies to life. It applies
Everything,
to even
man.
a simple conversation, man. Simple convo.
Yeah.
If you go in know what you're gonna talk about, man, like you've done the preparation, and don't get me wrong, that's a whole different topic. We could talk about preparation. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, oh yeah, nah, we're gonna definitely get there, Hector, man.
Yeah,
You'll definitely
But
get
like,
there.
if there's no creativity in the preparation, then you're not really doing anything. You just A to B, and they're kind of right there. Like, I don't know. Maybe somebody out there could go ahead and find a more articulate way to put that. But I agree with that. I don't get to be creative on easy mode.
Nah.
I really do. I really believe it. So,
You about to say something?
nah, pick it up.
Let me see. We're gonna switch the topic just a little bit, guys, man. I honestly I feel like this was a good first session already, man.
Mm-hmm.
But back to a little more accountability, right? So Hector, man, I picked you up as my accountability partner. That means you're looking out for me and I'm looking out for you. So I got two things I want to bother you with. One is going to be about something I learned about the books or publishing or whatever. And the other one is going to be about, what was the other one? Jesus Christ. What the heck else I wanted to talk to you about? The publishing the book and... Anyway, publishing the book, right? Let me just do this one. Publishing the book. I actually went to the library, right? How often you visit the library?
Oh man. Truthfully, when I was not who I am right now, almost never. But recently, and definitely more so in like the last 2 or 3 years, I've been in and out of all sorts of libraries.
Okay, so have you like ever like looked into like the I want to know what you know about the resources that they provide the library, because I was in there and I was like, hey, I'm in a library. My boy wants to publish a book. Let me ask some questions, right? So I was in there and I was like, hey, like what kind of resources do you guys have to help, like, people just trying to start out writing a book or publish a book or whatever? And the lady just started spewing a whole bunch of stuff they have, such as like events. She was telling me like about making sure you get like during these events, it's for new publishers specifically. They usually they make pamphlets in advance to let people know. And library people are library people, Hector. When I went to the library, that joint was busy, bro. I didn't even know people still use the library like that. But library people are library people, right? So She was like, I'm saying when they do these events, they come out with these little booklets. They that lets the people know like who you are, a little bit about what you do and stuff like that in the booklets. They have a picture of you, and they pick like a day. They pick a day where you get to come out and hand out copies of your book. You know what I'm saying? They have a day you get to hand out copies of your book. I think you sell your book there, for the most part, but you get to go out there and really put your name out there. And she was saying some people really have grown off of stuff like that, like just going out there and using that resource. She also gave little tips like, yo, when you join, try to be like one of the first ones in, so that way you have like one of the first tables. Because if you have one of the first tables, you guarantee everybody that come in there got to walk by you, but they might not make it to the end. You know what I'm saying? Little tips, you know what I mean?
Yep, that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, to speak on that a little bit, I do know that there's like being picked up by a publisher, and then there's self-publishing. And for me personally, I'm kind of on the fence with that, but I would say rather that I kind of want to lean more towards being picked up, because as I've shared with you, Frank, the stories, I don't want them to stay on paper.
Yeah.
I have that vision. I want them to go a lot further. Doing self-publication may slow that process down, and that's something that I'm fearful of, but I don't know all the ins and outs to it. I do have to do more research.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you doing that at the library, because out here in Colorado, man, there are libraries everywhere, and there is money put into these libraries. They're safe places. People go there to challenge their creativity, to kind of dive into other worlds, or just be safe, to have somewhere to go, access to a computer, do homework, place to relax.
Yeah,
because life is stressful, man. Life is crazy out there. So inside those walls, the library is a safe place, especially out here. There's every few blocks you'll find one, man, and they're incredible. They don't just have books. Libraries out here have all sorts of things. Like, one of the things I can say is like a maker space. You walk in, there's a whole laboratory with 3D printers and laser engravers and a lot of.
I seen that joint when I went in there that day. I'm like, yeah, they got a 3D printer here. That sewing machine. What's that?
We didn't have that growing up. Like, what's up? Hold up, man.
Hold on.
Why? You know what I'm saying? But like, that's the thing now, man. And all of them have that. All of them have that desire to educate people, to teach people. So not only do you have equipment, but you've got internet access to learn about it, and you've got books to show you and guide you. So like the libraries are crazy, man. And so yeah, I do want one day for my piece to be in a library. Kid walking around, manage to hear about it if I'm lucky, and oh man, I want to pick that one up. And they go for it, they fall in love with it.
Tell a friend, share it on Instagram, Facebook.
Something, anything, anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the dream.
Hey.
That's the dream. It's just to have that story shared, man. That's what I want.
Hey, you know what, Hector, man? I know I was getting on you last week, man. I already told you, bro. Can't nobody share it if you ain't putting it out. Right, you know what I mean? That's one of the things.
Talking about
that's one of the things I'm gonna be pushing this dude on, man. I done showed him something. I done showed him something on Instagram I found interesting. The thing had one picture, right, of a poor man and his wife, right? We're just gonna go through it real quick. And after the one picture, it just went right into the story, and it kept me enough. Just the one picture and the rest of the story kept me enough. I'm like, yo, Hector need to do one of these short stories. It was just about a man who was, he was broke. His wife wanted a new comb. I'm gonna go through it real quick. His wife wanted a new comb. He didn't have the money for it. He told her, like, I don't even have the money to get my watch fixed. They want the bed. She said, okay. They want the bed. He thought about it all night. He ended up taking his broken watch and just selling it so that she can get it, so that he could buy her a comb. When he got home, he seen his wife brushing her hair. She cut off her hair so that she can afford to get him the batteries for his watch. So he's there with a new comb for her long hair. She's there with batteries for a watch. They wasn't even upset about that. It was about the love, and how they thought about each other. It was a quick little story, man, but it hit.
It's beautiful.
It's right
That
here, bro.
reciprocation, man. That like when somebody does something for you, they reciprocate that love. That feels good.
Yeah.
And that's yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my stories.
Yeah,
These are pieces
pick
of
one,
my
man.
brain that I love, and I agree. I got to do something.
We on
with
social
anything.
media now, Hector, man. We pushing ourselves out there. I'm making content, you making content, bro.
Yo, just so everybody out there know, I don't have an internet presence. I really never did. I didn't do this.
Michael.
I did.
That's how big mine is.
Right. Like, but we're doing it now.
Yeah.
And while we're doing it, we're gonna cover all the avenues, right? We're gonna go ahead and check every corridor, open every door, crack every window. We're here, and so that's kind of what that accountability details. Is that I do it. I gotta do it right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait to see it, Hector, man. You know I'm your number one fan already, bro. I'm the biggest fan, man. You know what I mean? I can't wait, man. I'm looking for it. So I can say, yo, that's my boy. I know him since second grade, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. I definitely know that just the last couple of months with our Thankful Thursday, with the idea of setting this podcast up, man, you got my mind going, bro. The wheels are turning, man. I've got characters in my story I'm developing. I've got the whole idea laid out. I just really need to sit down and just piece it together, and that's where I need this accountability partner, Frank. Truthfully, because I got the ideas. They're here. The story is written. It's here. But putting it down on paper requires a process. Like we was talking about earlier, we got to work through that. We got to know how to achieve that. We got to be willing to achieve that. And that's where I'm at, is putting it down and getting it. So of the 4 ideas, and again, all written, only one is down on paper. And it's not even complete yet. I find all sorts of reasons to add to the old ones or go about
so, you know what, Hector? I wonder if you could do something like, you know how they're doing the video games now, right? And the video games, there's a situation comes up, and then there's a choice A, B, and C. And then it leads to different things. Like, are you good enough to do something like that, Hector? Like instead of worrying about which way to go, you just make scenarios for all 3 or 4, right? And if they pick this one, then we going in this way. If they pick this one, we going this way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's an idea.
Yeah,
that's an idea. Shit. I like that, bro. I like that.
Hey man, that's what I'm here
Am
for,
I good
man.
enough? Hey, maybe. Shit.
You know what, Hector?
Who knows, unless
I just remembered, because you were talking what you were talking about, and I just remember what was the second thing. The second thing I wanted to talk about was another segment that I want to make sure we put into the show, right? So in this other segment, you know what, we passed the hour now, man. I don't want to eat up all the time.
Yeah.
But
no. Let's make this the last.
In this segment, I want it to be about addressing concerns, right?
Yes.
Like addressing concerns. I know I mentioned that to you already, so we come up with the name for it later. Addressing concerns, deciding dilemmas, whatever. You know what I mean? But
okay,
I find that as a businessman, now even with the podcast, we come to crossroads a lot. You know, we following our path. We come to a crossroad a lot, right? So, I like right now I'm at a crossroad with they call it ClickFunnels or whatever, like ClickFunnels, and setting up funnels so that people can learn about your business, just by clicking and engaging and stuff like that, and getting used to you, building trust and stuff like that, and about ClickFunnels, you know what I mean? So I'm at a point where either this is going to be another learning curve for me, or is it something I want to like hand off to somebody else, right? And they say, as a businessman, you got to know what kind of work to hand off. We can't do everything. You know what I mean? We wear a lot of hats, but you can't do everything. And sometimes when you give off work, you can focus on what's more important. Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm at this crossroad because they got freaking applications and stuff for ClickFunnels where like you could buy into it, but then it's like a monthly charge of like $200 or more, 200 to $500 a month. You know what I mean? Which I mean, bro. Until yeah, I don't even understand how they do that. If y'all haven't helped me make my first dollar yet, how y'all asking me for 500? You know what I'm saying? But and so I'm a little skeptical about that, but I'm curious about how those work and if it's something if it's a simple process, you know what I mean? Because if it's really a simple process and it's worth, don't get me wrong, and if it's worth the $500 and it's turning over into 15 or 5,000 a month, that's one thing, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't even think of that as like a huge cost, but at the same time, coming from not knowing anything about ClickFunnels or even working on the internet, man. You know what, guys, man? I need some friends, man. I need some more friends, man. All right. I need.
Listen, we need that perspective, is what
we
it
need
is.
perspective, and we need
Y'all
some more
know
friends,
about
man. What you know about ClickFunnels, y'all?
Come talk
All
to
right,
Frank.
somebody
Let him
teach
know
me
what's
something.
up. That's it. And that's the thing too, Frank. We live in an age right now where Google's right there at the fingertips, man. We got chat bots we can ask these questions to, and they can kind of give us that guideline, where to start. But there might be people out there that have already started that
and it's
know
easy to them
how to navigate.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's what it is, man. We here for that. We're here for all that learning, all that come with it, man. And I think that, you've already put in the work. You've already put in, some ideas, for research and kind of how that benefit and help you out. Now it's just kind of digging deeper, finding that diamond.
Yeah, man. I'm trying out this app that was free for a week. I'm gonna try that out. I don't know what that's gonna bring me, but hopefully it'll bring me something. And then the other option I have is Fiverr, and
okay.
Fiverr is a whole nother jungle. You know what I mean? You got to figure out which snake you want to deal with. You know what I mean? But you gotta pick the right people, man. You wanna make sure they're able to, like, I don't know, teach you a little bit about what they're doing in their process. And the reason I like Fiverr. Now, Fiverr, there's some people up there asking $2,000 to make you one, to start working for you, but it's a one-time charge. I kind of like that idea too. If it's just gonna, if it's not something that needs maintenance, regular maintenance, and I could charge you one time to pay you one time to get it all done for me, I'm with that too. But right now, I am trying to be a little cost mindful of the cost. But yeah, I'm at a crossroads with that. I'm at a dilemma with that. So that's something I would like to, put on the chopping block with my people. To help me make some decisions. And I want to be able to do the same with you guys. I want to be able to do the same with Hector. So Hector, when you really at some kind of crossroad and you having a dilemma, man, let's talk about it, man. Although I'm gonna probably be on one already, but
nah, bet I'm with that. I know I'm gonna need it. And a lot of that, things that kind of bottlenecked my process, my creative ability, my output, they're not bottlenecked anymore. It's on me to kind of just put in that work. And I've got, a friend who's very passionate, make sure I succeed. I know I want it, and I found myself with a partner that wants it too. And so I'm surrounded by support. It's on me to just put the work in, and I know that I want it. I know what I got to do to get there. And so, I most certainly will share the progress. I most certainly will share, hey, shit, there's a speed bump. I don't know how I'm going to take that one.
Hey.
But yeah, I'll chop it up. Hell yeah.
Hey guys, and as we doing this accountability thing, guys, I just want to put it out there. We're not looking to beat anybody up about not accomplishing their goals, man. But what we would prefer to do is figure out, okay, we said that we figured out this was the best way to go, but what got in our way in the past week? What got in our way in the past 2 weeks? What can we do just a little bit different? How can we find a little bit of time? What is the current schedule looking like? Like, you know what I mean? So, there's power in your voice. There's power in your voice. So if you have an idea, speak it. If you
got a voice,
if you have a voice, speak it. You know what I mean? And I tell you, it becomes a powerful thing. Nobody can. How can I put it? The Wright brothers, right? They came up with the first airplane, right? And the Wright brothers, they were so passionate about what they was doing, they actually created a little team of people that got passionate about making this plane, these planes. This was at a time where people thought that something like that is what flying in the air. People flying in the air, like what? What kind of witchery is it? Yeah, I heard the Rice brothers' father accused them of being he called them the devil or something like that, or saying it's something like the devil's work or something like that. But yo, anyway, the idea started up here, but it couldn't have manifested into anything without them speaking about it, without their voice being used for people to hear them and becoming more passionate and ignite, about it. So yo, I'm gonna tell you guys the same thing. It's power in your voice, man. Even if you have a problem, you want to get by that problem, speak about it.
Do it. And that's what we're here for. So we want a piece of your mind. And and we're gonna give you a piece of ours in the process.
That's right. Give us a piece of yours, man.
Shit.
But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, man. It's been a good hour and going on 15 minutes.
Hour and 10. Yeah, shit. It felt good, Frank. Episode 1, y'all. Thanks for coming.
We're gonna be able to chop this up into some good pieces, man. Some gems in here for sure.
And Frank, hey, big shout out to you, bro. The passion, wanting to do this with me. Yo, I'm right here.
Yeah, we're here, man. Let's do it.
So eventually, an outro. But for now, peace out, y'all.